Atlantic City, New Jersey. For decades, this was America's playground, a glittering beacon of entertainment where the boardwalk met the ocean, where fortunes were won and lost, where Frank Sinatra once ruled the nightclubs. But by 2020, Atlantic City had become a cautionary tale of urban decline, shuttered casinos, and broken promises. Yet, by 2075, something extraordinary happened. The city that everyone wrote off staged the most remarkable comeback in American history. This is that story. The turnaround began with brutal honesty. By 2030, Atlantic City acknowledged that competing with Las Vegas on gambling alone was a losing strategy. Half the casinos had closed. Poverty exceeded 40%. The famous boardwalk was deteriorating. The city needed complete reinvention, not incremental improvement. What emerged was a radical vision. Atlantic City would become America's first comprehensive wellness and entertainment destination. The Wellness Coast initiative launched in 2035 was audacious. Remaining casinos weren't demolished, but reimagined. Gaming floors shrank to boutique experiences, while spaces expanded for spa facilities, fitness centers, meditation gardens, and health-focused restaurants. The idea was revolutionary. What if Atlantic City became where people came to feel better, not just gamble? What if entertainment meant wellness, not excess? The boardwalk, Atlantic City's iconic wooden walkway, was completely rebuilt using sustainable materials that looked traditional but withstand Atlantic storms. More importantly, it was extended and enhanced with protected swimming areas, tidal pools for children, beach volleyball courts, and outdoor fitness zones. The boardwalk became not just a place to walk, but a destination for active recreation. Climate adaptation became central to planning. Rising sea levels and increased storm intensity threatened Atlantic City's existence. Rather than simply building higher seawalls, the city implemented a comprehensive coastal resilience system. Living breakwaters made from oyster reefs absorb wave energy. Restored dunes provide natural protection. Beach nourishment maintains shorelines. The ocean was managed with, not fought against. The steel pier, once a rusting amusement park shadow, was transformed into a state-of-the-art entertainment complex, combining virtual reality experiences, holographic performances, and traditional rides upgraded with sustainable technology. It became a bridge between Atlantic City's nostalgic past and innovative future. Families could experience historical Atlantic City through immersive technology while enjoying modern entertainment. Housing was revolutionized through an unprecedented partnership between city government, developers, and community organizations. Abandoned properties were renovated, not demolished. Historic preservation requirements ensured architectural character remained. Mixed-income neighborhoods replaced concentrated poverty. Artists received subsidized live workspaces, bringing creative energy. Housing became community building, not just construction. The Atlantic City Expressway, once just a highway from Philadelphia, became part of a comprehensive regional transit system. High-speed rail connects to New York and Philadelphia in under 45 minutes. Electric buses provide free transit throughout the city. Water taxis travel the coastline. Car ownership became optional. Accessibility without automobiles made the city more livable and sustainable. Education transformation started with the schools. Chronic underfunding was replaced with investment. School buildings were renovated into state-of-the-art facilities. Curriculum emphasized hospitality, technology, wellness, and marine sciences, industries thriving in New Atlantic City. Students graduated with skills matching local job markets. Education aligned with opportunity, breaking cycles of poverty. The casino industry didn't disappear, but evolved. Gaming became one entertainment option among many. Poker tournaments and high-stakes tables continued for those who wanted them. But casinos also offered cooking classes, wellness programs, art exhibitions, and educational lectures. The Borgata became as famous for its culinary institute as its gaming floor. Entertainment diversified beyond gambling. Atlantic City University, established in 2042, became a premier institution for hospitality, entertainment technology, and coastal resilience studies. The campus occupies renovated casino properties and new sustainable buildings. Students from worldwide come to study in a city that's a living laboratory for urban transformation. The presence of thousands of students energized the entire city. Healthcare access, historically poor, improved dramatically. The Atlantic Regional Medical Center opened in 2048, providing comprehensive services. Telemedicine connects residents to specialists nationwide. Community health clinics in every neighborhood provide preventive care. Health outcomes improved as healthcare became accessible and affordable. Wellness meant medical care, not just spas. The food scene exploded beyond casino buffets. Chef-driven restaurants using fresh Jersey seafood and local produce lined the boardwalk and side streets. Farmers markets sold vegetables from urban farms throughout the city. Food trucks offered diverse global cuisines, reflecting Atlantic City's multicultural population. Dining became a reason to visit, not just a casino amenity. Arts and culture flourished in unexpected ways. The Boardwalk Hall, once hosting beauty pageants and boxing matches, became a world-class performing arts center. Theaters in renovated casinos hosted Broadway tours. Street art murals covered previously abandoned buildings. Atlantic City developed cultural cachet, attracting artists and audiences who never considered visiting before. The beach itself was dramatically improved. Water quality, once problematic, achieved excellent ratings through improved wastewater treatment and stormwater management. Beach width increased through nourishment programs. Lifeguard services expanded. Family-friendly amenities multiplied. The beach became Atlantic City's greatest asset, not just its backdrop. Ocean recreation drove tourism as much as entertainment. Absecon Lighthouse, Atlantic City's tallest structure for over a century, was restored and surrounded by a maritime heritage park explaining the city's relationship with the ocean. Visitors climbed the lighthouse for panoramic views while learning about maritime history, coastal ecology, and climate adaptation. History became education, became tourism. Environmental cleanup was extensive and essential. Decades of pollution and neglect had contaminated soil and water. Comprehensive remediation programs cleaned up brownfield sites, enabling redevelopment. The Absecon Bay was restored to health, bringing back fish and bird populations. Environmental healing was prerequisite for economic renewal. The city couldn't thrive on poison land. Renewable energy powers the entire city. Offshore wind farms visible on the horizon generate massive amounts of electricity. Every public building has solar panels integrated into design. The convention center runs entirely on renewable power. Atlantic City became carbon neutral by 2065, proving that entertainment destinations can be sustainable. Fun doesn't require fossil fuels. The convention business, once struggling, boomed by focusing on wellness, sustainability, and medical conferences. The Atlantic City Convention Center expanded and modernized. Events attracted professionals in growing industries rather than declining ones. Convention attendees stayed longer and spent more because Atlantic City offered experiences beyond conference rooms. Business tourism became strategic. Crime, which had plagued Atlantic City for decades, dropped dramatically as opportunity replaced desperation. Investment in youth programs, job training, mental health services, and community policing transformed public safety. Visible police presence on the boardwalk reassured tourists, while community officers built neighborhood relationships. Safety wasn't just enforcement, but prevention through opportunity. Historic preservation became economic development. The Claridge Hotel, once left to decay, was meticulously restored to Art Deco glory. The Chelsea Hotel maintained its character while modernizing amenities. Preservation laws protected architectural heritage while allowing adaptive reuse. Atlantic City's history became an asset, not an impediment. Character distinguished it from generic resorts. The African American Heritage Center tells Atlantic City's complex history, including its role in the Great Migration, the Black Entertainment District of Kentucky Avenue, and the struggle for civil rights. Historical acknowledgement doesn't erase painful truths, but honors all who built the city. Complete history, not sanitized nostalgia, creates authentic connection. Lucy the Elephant, the quirky 6-story elephant-shaped building in nearby Margate, became centerpiece of a coastal heritage trail connecting Atlantic City to surrounding communities. Bike paths and walking trails link historical sites, beaches, and natural areas. Regional cooperation replaced competition. The entire Jersey Shore benefited from Atlantic City's revival. Addiction treatment, essential in a city with casinos, expanded dramatically. The Atlantic Recovery Institute provides comprehensive services combining medical treatment, therapy, and job training. Gambling addiction counseling is readily available. The city that profited from gambling also took responsibility for its consequences. Entertainment with ethics meant supporting those harmed. Parks and green spaces multiplied throughout the city. Vacant lots became community gardens and pocket parks. The inlet neighborhood developed linear parks along waterways. Green infrastructure manages stormwater while providing recreation. Every neighborhood has accessible green space within a 10-minute walk. Nature isn't just on the beach, but throughout the urban fabric. The Marina District transformed from industrial area to upscale neighborhood. Luxury apartments and townhouses overlook boat slips. Restaurants and shops line the waterfront. But affordable housing requirements ensure economic diversity. Waterfront development didn't create exclusive enclaves, but mixed-income communities. Gentrification was managed, not allowed to displace. Youth employment programs guarantee summer jobs for every teenager who wants one. Work experience in hospitality, recreation, and public services provides income and skills. Young people see futures in Atlantic City rather than just escape routes. Investment in youth became investment in city's future. The next generation has reasons to stay. The senior population, significant in Atlantic City, receives comprehensive support. The Senior Wellness Center provides activities, healthcare services, and social programs. Intergenerational programs connect elders with youth. Age-friendly urban design includes accessible transportation and safe pedestrian infrastructure. Seniors aren't forgotten but valued. Long-time residents contributed to and benefit from transformation. Technology infrastructure rivals any city. High-speed fiber internet reaches every building. Free public Wi-Fi covers the boardwalk and business districts. Tech startups focused on hospitality technology, wellness tech, and entertainment innovation receive support. Atlantic City became a hub for companies reimagining leisure industries. Innovation culture emerged from reinvention necessity. Water sports exploded as clean ocean and bay waters invited recreation. Surfing, paddleboarding, kayaking, sailing, and jet skiing turned Atlantic City into an active sports destination. Equipment rental shops line the beach. Instruction programs teach beginners. Professional competitions attract athletes and spectators. The ocean became playground, not just scenery. Fishing, both recreational and commercial, revived as marine ecosystems recovered. Charter fishing boats take tourists for offshore adventures. Commercial fishermen supply restaurants with fresh catch. The fishing pier bustles with families angling for dinner. Sustainable fishing practices ensure long-term viability. Atlantic City reconnected to its maritime roots in economically viable ways. The public library system expanded from basic service to comprehensive community resource centers. Makerspaces allow residents to learn new skills and create. Computer access and training provide digital literacy. Meeting rooms host community organizations. Libraries became hubs of learning and connection, supporting workforce development and lifelong learning. Knowledge infrastructure matters as much as physical infrastructure. Mental health services expanded, recognizing that economic stress, addiction, and trauma required support. The Atlantic Wellness Collective provides affordable counseling, support groups, and crisis intervention. Stigma reduced as mental health was normalized. Taking care of psychological well-being became as routine as physical health. Communities can't thrive when individuals struggle unaddressed. Small businesses, the economic backbone, received unprecedented support. Low-interest loans, business training, and mentorship programs helped entrepreneurs succeed. Boardwalk retail spaces reserved for local businesses prevented chain store dominance. Commercial rent controls protected long-time establishments. Economic development meant local ownership, not just corporate investment. Main Street mattered. The music scene revitalized, honoring Atlantic City's legacy as entertainment capital. Jazz clubs operate on Kentucky Avenue again. Concert venues host major tours. The Boardwalk Music Festival attracts performers and audiences nationwide. Young musicians find opportunities. Atlantic City's soundtrack isn't just slot machines, but live music across genres. Sound returned to the city that once defined American entertainment. Religious diversity flourishes with churches, synagogues, mosques, and temples serving varied communities. Faith-based organizations provide social services, youth programs, and community support. Interfaith cooperation addresses shared challenges. Spiritual communities strengthen social fabric. Faith became force for unity, not division. Houses of worship anchored neighborhoods. Sports and recreation facilities improved dramatically. Community centers offer basketball, swimming, fitness classes, and youth programs. Beach volleyball courts host tournaments. The athletic complex serves schools and public. Free recreation programs ensure access regardless of income. Physical activity became accessible to all, supporting public health and community building. Workforce development aligned training with available jobs. Hospitality academies train hotel and restaurant staff. Technology boot camps prepare workers for digital economy. Healthcare training fills medical center positions. Apprenticeships provide earn-while-you-learn pathways. Employment became accessible through relevant training. Skills development wasn't abstract, but directly connected to opportunity. Childcare accessibility improved dramatically through subsidized programs and employer partnerships. Quality early childhood education became available to working families. Parents could pursue employment knowing children receive care and education. Childcare wasn't personal problem, but community solution. Supporting families meant supporting economic participation. The nightlife evolved beyond casino floors. Rooftop bars offer ocean views. Beach bonfires create social gatherings. Comedy clubs and theaters provide entertainment. Dance clubs play diverse music. Nightlife diversity attracted varied demographics. Atlantic City, after dark, appealed to different tastes and age groups. Entertainment spectrum expanded beyond gambling. Affordable housing remained priority despite redevelopment pressures. Inclusionary zoning required affordable units in new developments. Community land trusts prevented displacement. Housing subsidies helped low-income residents. The commitment to mixed-income communities was maintained. Transformation didn't mean gentrification. Long-time residents belonged in revitalized Atlantic City. Public art transformed the cityscape. Murals celebrate Atlantic City's history and culture. Sculptures dot parks and plazas. The annual Arts Festival attracts artists and collectors. Public spaces became galleries accessible to all. Beauty wasn't restricted to casino interiors, but democratized throughout the city. Art elevated public realm. The wedding industry boomed as Atlantic City became premier destination for ceremonies and receptions. Beach weddings, boardwalk receptions, and casino venue packages attracted couples nationally. Wedding tourism brought visitors who stayed multiple days and returned for anniversaries. Romance became revenue while creating positive associations with the city. Environmental education programs teach residents and visitors about coastal ecosystems, climate adaptation, and sustainability. The Ocean Learning Center offers programs for school groups and families. Understanding environment creates stakeholders in protection. Education transformed Atlantic City from a place that ignored environment to one that celebrated and protected it. Street markets bring vibrancy to neighborhoods. Food vendors, crafts, and entertainment create festival atmospheres weekly. Local agriculture and artisans find customers. Markets became social events, strengthening community bonds. Commerce happened in human-scale spaces, not just malls and casinos. Street life returned to Atlantic City. Bicycle infrastructure transformed mobility. Protected bike lanes connect all neighborhoods. Bike share stations offer rentals. Cycling became practical transportation, not just recreation. Residents biked to work, school, and shopping. The flat coastal geography made cycling ideal. Active transportation reduced emissions while improving health. The Vintage Car Museum celebrates Atlantic City's automotive history, while adjacent exhibits show sustainable transportation future. Electric vehicle charging stations throughout the city support zero-emission travel. Past and future coexist. History is honored while progress continues. Museums aren't backward-looking nostalgia, but context for ongoing evolution. Substance abuse treatment expanded beyond gambling to address alcohol and drug addiction. Medication-assisted treatment, counseling, peer support, and recovery housing provide comprehensive pathways to sobriety. The city that once ignored addiction consequences now actively supports recovery. Responsibility meant treatment access, not just prevention messaging. Disaster preparedness is woven into city operations. Hurricane evacuation plans are practiced annually. Emergency shelters can house entire population if needed. Coastal monitoring systems provide early warning. Building codes require storm resilience. Atlantic City learned from past disasters. Preparedness isn't paranoia, but prudence. The city built to withstand what nature delivers. Tourism marketing shifted messaging from gambling destination to comprehensive resort. Families, wellness seekers, foodies, history buffs, and adventure travelers all find appeals. Diverse tourism replaced narrow focus. Year-round visitation replaced summer concentration. Atlantic City became destination with broad appeal, reducing economic vulnerability from single industry dependence. Veteran services expanded, recognizing significant veteran population. The Veterans Wellness Center provides healthcare, job training, housing assistance, and peer support. Military service is honored through programs, not just ceremonies. Veterans contributed to Atlantic City's revival and share in its prosperity. Service to country was met with service from community. The food bank and hunger relief programs ensure no resident goes without meals. Partnerships with restaurants reduce food waste while feeding those in need. Community kitchens provide nutritious meals with dignity. Hunger persists, but is addressed through comprehensive programs. Basic needs matter. Prosperity means ensuring everyone eats. Tech-enabled services improve city operations. Smart parking guides drivers to available spaces. Digital kiosks provide tourist information and city services. Apps coordinate transit and entertainment. But technology supplements rather than replaces human interaction. Innovation serves people, not vice versa. Atlantic City uses technology thoughtfully. Immigration enriched Atlantic City's culture and economy. New Americans opened businesses, filled workforce needs, and added cultural diversity. Welcoming policies attracted immigrants who revitalized neighborhoods. Diversity wasn't problem, but strength. The American story of immigration and opportunity continued in Atlantic City's rebirth. Adaptive sports programs ensure people with disabilities fully participate in Atlantic City's recreation. Beach wheelchairs access sand and surf. Accessible kayaks and paddleboards welcome all abilities. Adaptive fitness classes serve varied needs. Inclusion isn't accommodation, but expectation. Universal design makes Atlantic City accessible to everyone. Disability doesn't limit enjoyment. Historic Black churches remain spiritual and community anchors. These institutions that sustained communities through segregation and decline now witness and contribute to revival. Youth programs, social services, and community organizing continue. Faith communities that never abandoned Atlantic City share in its renewal. Institutional memory and moral authority guide equitable development. The transformation wasn't perfect or complete. Challenges remain. Some neighborhoods still struggle. Some residents haven't benefited equally. Some problems persist. But the trajectory changed. Hope replaced despair. Investment replaced disinvestment. Atlantic City in 2075 isn't utopia, but it's proof that decline isn't destiny. Cities can come back when people commit to comprehensive change. As evening falls over Atlantic City in 2075, the boardwalk glows with light and life. Family stroll where decay once dominated. Laughter replaces silence. The ocean that always defined the city is cleaner, more accessible, better protected. The casinos still stand but transformed, part of something larger than themselves. Entertainment remains, but expanded beyond gambling to wellness, culture, nature, and community. Atlantic City's story matters beyond its borders. Dozens of American cities face similar struggles. Single industries declining, populations leaving, infrastructure crumbling, hope fading. Atlantic City proved that comprehensive reinvention, while difficult and requiring decades, is possible. The lessons learned: diversify economy, invest in people, protect environment, honor history, apply anywhere. Comeback is possible when commitment is real. Atlantic City 2075. The Casino City Reborn. Where entertainment evolved beyond gambling. Where beaches became cleaner and more accessible. Where wellness replaced excess. Where history was honored and future built. This city that everyone wrote off refused to die. Instead, it transformed into something better than what came before. Welcome to Atlantic City, America's greatest comeback story. The house always wins, but this time, the house is the community.